Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Can you lose weight by putting herbs on a rag and shoving it up your hoo-ha? Today, we're going to be exploring this radical weight loss idea, as well as others, with my favorite creator on Instagram, Fierce Fatty. We're also going to be taking a look at why cults encourage weight loss, also from the perspective of Fierce Fatty. In order to sink our teeth into this bad boy, we must first apply comb to mustache.
The newest, most ridiculous ways that we're being told to lose weight. The first one is the Yoni Pearls, which are actually pieces of rag with herbs and spices in there. Herbs and spices being ginger and black pepper, among other things, which is gonna be great, and is apparently meant to make you detox and also become not fat.
I see.
And also cure 98.7% of your gynecological issues. It doesn't do any of those things.
How is it going to cure your gynecological issues? Where are we putting these bags? Wait, we're not encouraging women to insert these bags that have ginger and black pepper in them. That's burning my labias just thinking about it. Hey.
Another one that we've seen recently is the gastric band program done by hypnosis.
Oh, that one is good. That one really works. Alright, I agree about putting bags of various herbs up your hoo-ha not being the greatest way to lose weight. I mean, it helps a little bit, but it's not the most effective. What you really want to do is saute some onions and stuff them into a condom. And then you're just going to want to put that right up inside your...
So this is hypnotizing people over an audio track, which is terrible quality, and making them believe that they have had gastric band surgery.
Sounds legit. If you can convince these people in their mind that they had the gastric bypass surgery, then maybe they won't be hungry. They'll be like, I was going to eat that burger, but I did just have gastric bypass, so...
Claims to have a success rate of 95%. Links to a study, but there's no study there.
Oh, that's ironic. It's like when I went to go to that study on FluffyKittenParty.org, and I was greeted with a page full of emojis and GIFs.
Another one is using herbs to shit yourself. So,
whoa, hold on. So now we're using herbs to shit ourselves? What kind of herbs make you do that?
So, the product is I pooped my way to my goal weight.
Oh, that's so silly. You don't lose fat by way of pooping, just in case anybody is curious, because I see a lot of things in certain communities where people are big on the laxatives and pooping. They're like, this will help me lose weight. That will help the food that was in your intestines no longer be in there. But it doesn't use the fat that is currently on your body for fuel, thereby burning it.
I think that goes without saying that doesn't work. And finally, the diabetes tool that diet culture has stolen, which is the constant glucose monitoring.
The diabetes tool that diet culture has stolen? Are they appropriating your diabetic culture? I hate it when that happens. Luckily, nobody in the fat acceptance community appropriates other people's cultures, claiming to have restrictive EDs.
System, which is putting a patch on your arm that has a little needle in there.
What? People are doing that for dieting purposes? What? Alright, I got this new weight loss trick. You get that little hypodermic needle patch thing that the type 1 diabetics have. Put that sucker on there.
And people who have diabetes use it to tell them what their glucose levels are and help them be alive. Diet culture is taking this and are selling it for $350 a month to tell you when you're allowed to eat and when you have to go exercise. Obviously, not backed up with any science. None of these are.
What? People are using blood glucose monitors as a tool to tell them when to eat and when to exercise? Alright, she wasn't lying. Can a glucose monitor help you lose weight? This chick says yes. For some reason, this chick has an Australian accent. It can help you lose weight, love. Come on, try it, you wanker. Oh, no, that's not an Australian accent. That was a New Zealand accent that I was doing. You're a wanker. Look at him, he's a wanker. He's a wanker. That's a freaking New Zealand accent all day. Okay, so I can't even read this article. Real-time continuous glucose monitoring use may lead to behavioral modifications in food selection and physical activity, but there are limited data on the utility of CGM in facilitating lifestyle changes. This article describes an 18-item survey developed to explore whether patients currently using CGM believe the technology has caused them to change their behavior. 90% of continuous glucose monitoring users felt that its use contributed to a healthier lifestyle. 47% of CGM users reported being more likely to go for a walk or do physical activity if they saw a rise in their blood glucose. Alright, the last line says more research is needed in regards to using this as a tool for diet and exercise in individuals with diabetes. Alright, I think this one is just talking about people with diabetes.
But the big thing to remember are these are ridiculous and funny, and we can see that they are silly, but so are all diets.
Eating healthy and exercising is not silly. That consist of a protein, a starch, and a veg in the correct ratios. It's not a fad like some of the things that you were mentioning, and comparing it to wearing a blood glucose monitor is ridiculous.
Every diet out there is a fad diet.
No, it's not. Eating healthy and exercising is not a fad. I've been doing it for years.
Which is not backed by any science, doesn't work for the vast majority of people.
Just like anything else in life, it works for everybody who sticks to it. Obviously, if you don't stick to it, it doesn't work for you, because you didn't even do it. It takes more than one day of proper diet and exercise to see results. Every single person that stuck to a proper diet and exercise saw results. If it doesn't work for the vast majority of people, that's because the vast majority of people aren't actually doing it. If you talk to anybody that is honest, they will tell you, yeah, when I was doing the actual part of the diet, it was working. And then I stopped doing it and gained all the weight back. The hard part for most is staying on the diet.
And just like these hilarious fad diets that will leave you, take your money and make you feel conned. Because that is exactly what has happened when you buy any diet product.
I will be left feeling conned when I buy any diet product? That's interesting. Here's a post from Fierce Fatty on Instagram where she's providing training for professionals. How to make your social media presence fat positive. Oh, thank you so much. I've been trying to figure out how to do this for a while now, and thank God that you're here to do this out of the goodness of your heart. You wouldn't be trying to con anybody like you just accused others of doing. Here's the program, Training for Professionals, how to make your social media presence fat positive, critical mistakes to avoid, and what to do instead. A pre-recorded training to watch on demand. Well, let's see how much this costs. $97. Or you can go on a payment plan for $49 every month for first 2 months. You sucker. I'd be willing to pay $200 for such a product. Now we're going to be learning a little bit about MLMs and cults and weight loss.
So, in summary, why do some cults, MLMs, and religious groups coerce their members to diet and become thin?
So they can control them. Because most cults and MLMs are actually controlled by Big Diet. You may not have noticed as you walked up the doorway and you entered the Grand Hall at the Scientology lab, or frickin' church, or whatever the hell they call it, that there was a food pyramid on the wall. You didn't notice, did you? You fool! You fool!
Well, I think, it's 3 reasons. First is fat phobia.
Cults make their members lose weight because of fat phobia? What? I would have thought, to break them down mentally and stuff so it's easier to control their mind, but yeah, it's probably the fat phobia. The basis for most cults and MLMs is fat phobia. It is the foundation for which scams are built upon.
That's the underlying belief.
See? The underlying belief. Kind of like the foundation, Fierce Fatty. See, now we're on the same page.
fat phobia, the belief that a fat body or a body that isn't thin is bad.
A fat body is bad, or a body that isn't thin. You guys word things in such the weirdest way, man, I swear to God.
And immoral, a sign of sin.
Is it not a sign of sin? One of the 7 deadly sins? I didn't write it, man. Take it up with Jesus.
A bad representation for the group. The second thing is sacrifice and piety.
So they sacrifice their excess adipose tissue, or fat, to the god of the cult. Yes, cult leader, we bow to you. We will do your bidding. I will sacrifice my firstborn to you. Firstborn? Whoa, 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 dude, you're getting crazy. Now, just lose like 10 pounds. Just like burn a little bit of fat. That'll be a good enough sacrifice for us, man. You're getting really crazy now. What?
To show that you're really dedicated to the cause.
What? To show that you're really dedicated to the cause when you join a cult, they make you lose weight. It's like getting jumped in a gang. Are you for real or not, dog? Are you really down for this cult? Will you lose 10 pounds, man? Will you worship at the altar of Jenny Craig, homie? Will you bow before the feet of Weight Watchers, dog?
There is an expectation that you will modify your behavior. And having a body that is thin is a walking billboard of your devotion.
What? I don't know about all that, man. I think when you join a cult, you're joining a communal environment. It is a cult, and it is wrong. But they do have a sense of community, as in, like, you don't get to eat all the food while the rest of us are starving. We're all gonna starve, together, in harmony. At least all the cults I was a part of. We were in this thing together, baby. Only the cult leader's allowed to be obese, okay?
To the cause, to the company.
To the company.
And finally, control. So weight loss can have devastating effects on our bodies and our minds, making us pliable, exhausted, confused, obsessed with food, weak.
And that's just within the first 5 minutes. Alright, now we're getting into all the stuff about how food is used to make you weak so they can control your mind. But that does come later after you've lost a bunch of weight and you don't have a bunch of ketones to live off of. Because you do have this thing called ketones. If you still have a bunch of fat on your body, you're not starving at all. You can literally live off of that. I know, it's crazy.
Unstable and desperate for salvation.
Dude, the ways that they describe when they get hungry the slightest bit is very unnerving.
Through our efforts, perhaps the leader will notice us.
I never will. Unless you conform to the group. Do what everyone else is doing. Fall in line. Stop thinking for yourself. Feel bad about yourself so I can sell you weight loss plans. Fools!
And we will be anointed as redeemable and good.
Perhaps I will touch a cupcake to your forehead and anoint you as worthy. Perhaps not.
So how much of this ties into what diet culture does to us?
She joined like a weird weight loss cult years ago, and that's her origin story. So this is how you came to be. It all makes sense now. Years ago, Fierce Fatty was locked up in a dungeon. She was a member of the Jenny Craig cult located down in Brazil. Every day they used to have to do burpees and be in a caloric deficit. Carbs were given out only in small amounts. Guy Fieri was there for some reason. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. In order to escape this cult, you had to run for miles. So you're still there. You're actually shooting us in the back room.
I mean, I think a lot. A basis of fat phobia, the idea that you're good if you diet and being controlled by a force that you are seeking approval from.
What if you want approval from yourself? What if what you're looking at in the mirror ain't doing it for you?
And that approval will probably never come. In this case, society and oppressive systems that are designed to keep you distracted.
Yeah, right. So Fierce Fatty was in a cult, and she recently escaped, and she's trying to free others from the constraints of diet culture and yada yada yada. Wouldn't that be funny if food farmed in other countries, like in South America, was actually cultivated by cults? Cultivated. This reminds me of back when I was in Heaven's Gate. We were encouraged to lose weight. I remember one time they had this weight loss punch, some sort of diet punch. I was told if you drink this punch, you will lose 100% of your body weight. Unfortunately, I missed that opportunity, and now all my brethren are living in peace and harmony on Hale-Bopp the Comet. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.